Hi, I'm Jonathan. I am a family therapist and I'm also an addictions counselor. I wanted to make another video to help you understand a little bit more about how addiction works. Because addiction is destructive. It destroys lives, it destroys families, relationships. It's like a bomb. And when that bomb goes off, everybody within the blast radius, their lives are destroyed. Now, one of the biggest warning signs that somebody's life is out of control with addiction is when they lose interest, when they stop caring in just about everything but their drug. And that is exactly what was happening in the life of a woman that I was talking to. She was telling me her husband, who she now knew was an addict, earlier on in their life, he was very involved, very engaged. You know, he enjoyed spending time with her. He enjoyed spending time with the kids. He had friends that he hung out with. He liked his job, hobbies. But over time, that started to change. He started to lose interest in those things. And now it was at a point where it's like he didn't even care to spend time with the kids. He didn't care to spend time with her. He didn't hang out with his friends. He didn't even want to go into his job. He was missing a lot of work. It's like the only thing that he cared about was how he was going to get high. And I told her this was a really big problem, that this was a huge warning sign. Now, I want to explain to you why this happens with addiction. And I have a drawing here on the board. It's a simple diagram. It's called a reward loop. And here's how it works. So when we do a behavior, it doesn't matter what the behavior is. When we do a behavior and it brings us pleasure, you know, we enjoy it, we learn something. We learn that if we do that again, we're going to get that same feeling. We're going to enjoy it. It's going to feel good, and then we're likely going to continue to repeat that behavior. Now, this is a normal thing. We all experience it. It's how we learn a lot of things. You know, we try something, we get a good result, we feel good about it, we do it again, right? And that's probably what was going on with her husband, right? He was enjoying spending time with the kids and spending time with her, and all these things, they brought him pleasure. But when drugs are introduced, it messes this whole loop up, okay? And the main reason is because there's really nothing that brings a person more pleasure in the moment than using drugs. And in the moment is very important, right? In the long term, it's going to destroy their lives. It's going to destroy their health. It's going to destroy everything around them. But in the moment, it's hard to match the euphoria that someone experiences when they use drugs. And because it feels so good, they're likely going to repeat it. And if they keep repeating it over and over, the more this goes around and around, the more somebody uses a drug, something very insidious happens with this reward loop. See, the old behavior that brought them pleasure starts to be extinguished because it's not as pleasurable as using the drugs. And they start to lose interest in the old thing because nothing makes them feel as good as those drugs. And it starts to rewire the brain where the only thing that brings them pleasure, the only thing that they can imagine that can even make them feel normal at that point is to use drugs. And their brain goes on this one-way track. It's like, I gotta get high, I gotta use. And at that point, it's just to feel normal and just not to feel sick. And it's really messed up, but that's what happens when that goes around over and over. So you see addicts who they stop caring about everything because nothing makes them feel good anymore. The only thing that makes them feel good is their drugs. The problem with that is there's this tolerance factor, right? They've got to use more and more drugs because what they used before doesn't work anymore. They don't get the same high, so they got to use more and more, and it becomes so consuming, it takes over their life. And that's what I was saying to this woman. I said, it's too far progressed. Because she was hoping that it would just get better. She was praying that it would just get better, that he could figure it out. And I told her, no. I've never seen that happen. When someone is in that point of addiction, they need help. They need professional help. They need to get involved with something that is bigger than themselves, that is going to help them see straight, because at that point they're not in reality anymore. They're not able to think for themselves. They need help in breaking that cycle and rewiring their brain. And I told her she wasn't the person to do it. She was too wrapped up in this. This was time for her to set some boundaries about protecting her and protecting her kids, and doing everything that she could to encourage her husband to get help. But she's not the one that was going to be able to do that for him. She was going to have to take care of herself and take care of her kids, and and hopefully that can turn around for him. So I want to encourage you, if you're in that same situation, see the warning sign for what it is. Because I talk to a lot of people, they keep hoping, they keep praying that it's going to get better. When it gets to that point, just hoping that it's going to get better isn't going to work. It's going to progress, and if you don't take action, you're going to get wrapped up in that, and that bomb's going to go off. And I just don't want to see more lives being destroyed by addiction. Okay, I have something that's going to help you. I have created a community on Facebook. It's called Living with Addiction. And it's going to show you things about addiction that you did not understand that you need to know. And it's also going to show you the steps you need to take to help you and to help the ones you love who've been impacted by addiction. So I want you to go follow the link. It's down below. And go follow that page. And of course you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you're going to see the videos that I'm putting out every week. Hey, you take care. I'll talk to you soon.